Oh, what up, everybody? You already know Sly, aka Loco, with another episode of CannaConvos, baby. Finally got the banner in, looking beautiful. I don't like the way the light glares on there, but we're gonna do it today on the next episode of CannaConvos. Um, we have Peachill Cultivators. All right, he's coming on right now. I'm gonna send him a message. What up, everybody? How we doing today? You already know. Hey, it's cold as a mug, right? Mills said, "What up, Pimp Mills?" Oh, Harry Nugs in the spot. Everybody, what you doing, pimpin'? Green Year 420. What's up? Grow Dog 562. What up, pimpin'? What up? What up? What up? What up? As you know, we have Peachill Cultivators coming on today. I did want to show you guys the merch though. Check out this merch that I should have been having. I should have showed off a long time ago, but uh, this is the Defiant Seed. Be defiant. What up? What up, Sky Dog? Yo, check that shit out, man. That's the shit right there, baby. That's the shit right there. Let's get the homie in right here. Peachill. Peachill's in here. Billy the Kid. Bam, 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 bam. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're having a great day. I know. Yeah, I got that gear on, baby. Usually have the hat, but with the lighting and everything, it'd be blocking my face. So yeah. Um, Peachill, send that again. I am going to send it back to you. Now, Instagram be tripping sometimes, so we got to go in and out, in and out. Try it again, try it again. But it'll let us do it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That gear pimping. Oh man, he sent it to me a long time ago. I should have been wearing it a long time ago, but I'm sick today and I'm cold as a mofo. So I was like, perfect time to debut it, debut the banner, debut the sweater. That's what we're doing now. Peachill Cultivator is the grower on here. He's been doing his thing on Instagram for a minute. I've been following him for a minute also, and I was figured what a great time is unable to join. All right, hold on one second, man. We're gonna get you in here. I'm gonna send the invite. Yeah, go back out, come back in, try it again. It does this to us, man. Sometimes it just doesn't let us get onto it. But anyways, how's everybody doing out there? How's your day? How's your Saturday? Hopefully everybody's well. Not sick. Shit, not like me, man. Hey, but it is what it is. Got to sit there and get over it, and yeah, let's keep it going, man. What up, pimpin'? There we go. Come on, let him in. Mm, mm. So, what we smoking on tonight, guys? What's everybody blazing on? How's it going? What we blazing on? What strains you got growing? I want to know it all, man. Anybody out there who I'm going to be booking next time also, uh, you know, I book a couple months out, so it's going to be a minute before we do our is unable to join. Don't even trip. Don't even trip. Check that invite. Toasty, what up, what up, what up? I still got to book you too, all right? Don't trip. Toasty, keep an eye on your DMs because I'm going to send you a message so we can get you in. I'm booking for February, all right? Good, good. You, oh man, we just chilling, man. You feeling your face? Harry Nugs, feeling his face. Mills is good. I'm getting over a cold, so I'm trying not to, anyways, I'm gonna be getting a hold of you, Toasty, for the booking an episode of CannaConvos. So that's gonna be in February. So, yeah, that's how long I'm booked out for. I know it's a while out, but yeah, sick. Bam, 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 bam. Peachill, man. They don't want to let him in. That's messed up. I am going to send this out to everybody, and we're going to try it again. We're going to try to get him in again. Is unable to join. Weak. El Connoisseur, what up, pimpin'? Doesn't want to let PTL on, which is Boof Weed. Come on, Instagram. There it is. Bow. What up, G Money?
What's up, man? It worked.
Right. Good, man. It'll see, like I said, it takes a few times, but it'll let us do it once we get it going. Yeah.
Awesome.
So how's your day?
Good. We just finished up some dinner. We had some burgers from Hello Fresh, and I made the kids some pancakes. So they're in there cleaning
Nice.
up, and I'm chilling in the garage. But you know,
Fuck
Sunday,
yeah.
yeah, can't
So what
complain.
kind of pancakes did you make?
Just regular box pancakes.
It's a
OG.
good shit.
If you can still say Aunt Jemima, I don't know, but I think that's what the box looked like to me. So
Man, I don't even know why they canceled that, but yeah. Still, it's good pancakes though, huh?
yeah, I mean, you can't beat pancakes.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, the world's changing, man. The world's changing. So, for those who don't know, this is Peachill Cultivator, right? He's a grower that's been on Instagram for a pretty long time. I've been following you for a minute there, brother. I think it's been at least 2 years, a year or two,
At least,
something like that.
about a year maybe. I think we got stuck in the algorithm together, and we linked up with some other, Harry and Mills, and we all kind of jumped in the algorithm together. So we all kind of linked up.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's what's been happening lately. I've been sending messages out to anybody who I've been following for a minute that I've been watching. That way I know like, oh, okay, this person knows how to grow, this person's been doing their thing for a minute, so that's a real knowledgeable person. So that's when I'll shoot you a message, or even some people out there that I just think is cool. If I look at your page and I'm like, fuck, that good seems like a cool dude, I'm gonna send you a fucking message so we can do this. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, we're going to start this episode off by, like we always do, and asking you, where did you come up with your name?
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I live in California, and Peachill Cultivators is kind of something me and my brother started. My brother's not on Instagram. He lives in
Okay.
LA, and we kind of linked up, and then we just kind of we were we're kids from around here, and we were like, oh, we want some kind of identity, so we kicked some names around, and we ended up with Peachill Cultivators. Peachill is actually the street name that me and my brother grew up on. It's that
Okay.
that we, ran around, jumped our bikes into the front yard, and came home with stitches, and So, anyways, that was just kind of it. Just as soon as we said it out loud, we were like, yeah, that's it. Like because me and him, we're about 5 years apart now. We don't link up as much. So it's cool that we still have that common ground of cannabis, and we can shoot the shit and bounce off each other and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. Peachill is the street that me and my brother grew up on. So
Nice. So it brings back a lot of memories, a lot of good memories. And one thing, cannabis is always bringing people together, man.
mm-hmm.
That's the one thing that we can all like get a level ground with, and we could just talk about cannabis to like even the people who don't grow or just people who like to smoke, man. Something that could bring us all together, and I really like that.
Yeah, it's definitely like the common ground. Like I said with me and my brother, anytime you like, he'll call and he'll be like, yeah, I don't have any time right now. I can't talk. Like, okay, call me tonight. And then I'll look at the phone most night. We'll go an hour and a half. How's the grow? What are you doing? How they looking? He typically will run, like, I'll veg his plants and I'll bring them over to him, and he'll flower them, right? So
Oh, okay.
I'm like, hey, so he's running some stuff that I've already ran, right? And like right now he's running this lemon orange by Greenhouse Seed Company, one of my favorite plants I've ever really ran. And I'm like,
Really?
oh, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. What are you getting? Are you getting these smells yet? And, so it's like it's cool that I kind of touch, and I know it's almost like he's reading the book that I already read, right? I'm like, oh, wait till you get to chapter 4, big dog, chapter 4.
Oh yeah, yeah. Week
Like,
4
yeah,
is gonna be the good week. Yeah.
exactly. Like, you getting this or that yet? And he'll be like, no, like, so it's fun to kind of steer him a little bit. I don't say I'm a better grower than him or anything. I just kind of keep it rolling and stuff. But anyways, yeah, common ground. We really can kind of spitball and talk, and that leads into other subjects and stuff. It's
Yeah.
The icebreaker, right? So it's like
Yeah.
talking sports with your boys. Like, you can always talk sports with your boys, right? And then
All
during
day.
that, you might be talking about something completely different, but it's that icebreaker.
Yeah. So one thing that I like to notice is that, like, in the instance that you guys are doing, whatever, like, so what I like to say is we could try our hardest to keep the same environment, same variables in our grows, but we're always going to have these little differences between your brother and you. Maybe he doesn't have a dehumidifier. Maybe you have one. Maybe, there's just so many different variables that come out in the plant. Like later you can actually see like, okay, is yours better? Like, I don't like to say better, but like, you know, because there was one that where I gave him a clone to my homeboy and he grew it out and it was better than mine. I have to admit, it was better than mine. Like, it was smoked better and it just tasted better. And so I would had to go at him and be like, okay, what are you doing? You know, and he was like, I went the organic route. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So then I started switching it up and started going organic, you know?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I totally see that, man. Totally see
And it's
that.
fun. Like honestly, it's like if he you know outgrows whatever you want to call it, right? You getting different funkier chirps in mine or whatever. Like I'm all for that. Like that's what we're doing, right? Like it's
Yeah.
no, you know, no. I'm not throwing any shade. You know, it's like, dude, go. I want him to do better than me. You know, and that's.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get into other stuff later, but like that's this community for the most part. You know, it's like push me, I'll push you. Like, you know, we got, you know, everyone can win, right? There's not one winner. You know, we can all crush it. You know, like so.
Yeah, there's enough room for everybody in this industry, in this community.
Yeah.
Um, and everybody's very like you know, accepting. And everybody just wants to see the whatever you come up with or whatever your brother comes up with, you know. And I think what did you say it was? Orange lemon? Was
Lemon
that
orange.
one of your
Yeah,
lemon
lemon orange.
orange?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did that come out?
That one's an interesting one. You know, it was very Clementine is the thing that you know, and that's one of the. Anyways, it smelled like it described on the package, which is always really cool, right? When the seed company can say, hey, you're gonna get X, Y, and Z, and you grow it out and you get X, Y, and Z. Like
Yeah.
that's killer to me. You know, that shows you that we're starting to kind of nail this down a little bit, you know. But yeah, the lemon orange was just really like Clementine orange, more like real orange than like candy
Oh,
orange,
okay.
you know, and then
Not artificial orange where the
yeah,
sweeteners and all that shit, but this is actual like orange where you smell the citrus,
yeah,
right?
exactly, and more of the like more of the peel than the actual fruit, right? When you get the clementine and you peel it, you know, and you get that it's more of a bright, crisp orange than rather than like a candy orange, you know. So that was cool to get something like crisp like that, you know.
Yeah, I grew out a strawberry cough one
Cool.
time, and that strawberry cough smelled like real strawberries, not like artificial stuff with a bunch of sweeteners and shit. It just smelled very strawberry. Like I couldn't, I don't know how to explain it, but it was good shit, man. That shit was wow.
Yeah, I know you're on the West Coast too, and like I don't know if you've ever heard of the Cushman cough, Kyle Cushman's cough that goes around, the strawberry cough by Kyle Cushman. Anyways, that's the one that they say too that strawberry cough does smell way more like real strawberries
Okay,
than fruit than candy strawberries, you know. So I'm on the look for that one. So if you ever come across a big dog again, holler at your boy. So
I got you, Pippin. If I get some more, I got you. Don't even trip.
oh yeah.
So one thing I wanted to talk to you about was growing with your brother. How did that come along?
Hmm. Just kind of like I got started first.
Okay.
I'm married. I got some kids, and you know I was.
Now I gotta interject. I'm trying to get my brother to grow, and he won't fucking listen to me. And I'm like, "Stop being a pussy, man. Fucking grow some weed, damn it." And
Throw
he's
the
like,
bags,
"No."
then you know. It's just like anybody. Get them started. They're like, you know, you like, you know, same shit, right? You bring over that home grow, and they're like, yeah, whatever, you know. Try boys home grow, right? And then they get it, and they smoke it, and they're like, holy shit, you know. So same
Yeah.
kind of thing with my bro, right? It was kind of like, you know, we was smoking flower our whole life. I mean, smoking with my brother since, you know, I was 13. He was probably, man, we broke him in way too young. Anyways, I'll leave that alone.
No, same here. Same here. Don't even trip. No judgment here because it was the same fucking thing, man. Shit.
We probably broke him in at 10 or 11, you know.
Oh yeah. I was 13. So yeah, I was around there.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
But anyways.
Same shit. It was I kind of got going, and just like common, you know, you'll hear growers and stuff, especially tent growers, right? They kill the first run or two, right? Everything's clean and fresh, and they're on it, and it's like their main focus. So like I had my first two, right, were just perfect, like not perfect, but like I did the damn thing, right? Like I did it, and we'll get to it later. I'm talking indoor grows because I've had some fail outdoors years previously coming into this where I was not successful. But the first indoor really kind of kicked it off with my brother, and he came over to the house, and he's like, you know, he smelled, and it was gelato was the first indoor grow that, and he, you know, I'm getting that, you know, I'm saying, you know, X, Y, and Z, and he's smelling it, and and that's just kind of, just like anybody, that's kind of what got his, interest and stuff. And then, where we could kind of see, like, my brother's a gearhead. My brother's,
Okay.
he's a camera operator, a union camera operator, and he's always into meticulous and little things. So I think it
And
really,
doing stuff with his hands or what?
exactly. He's
Okay.
always, doing that stuff, wrenching on stuff and playing and stuff. So for him, I could see that it would tickle that, of his personality. Like the
Interest.
growing would yeah, and it would carry his interest, all the way through. And it has, and it's been fun to see him, do his things and, take big brother's input, but then, he just like anything, he puts his own spin on it and stuff. Like, and he'll like hide stuff from me too. Sometimes, like early on, right, he'd hide stuff from me, and I'll be like, what are you doing, And he's like this and that, and for like a whole 2 runs, he hid that he was feeding fish shit, and it was like his
Okay.
secret weapon, right? Like he's giving it fish shit, and I'm not, right? And he's getting some different smells, and so, anyways, again, more of the whole brother camaraderie. I'm gonna not be outdone by the big brother. He's hiding nutrients and stuff. The fish shit is a good
Yeah.
attitude, right? So it was cool to, like, he went to the grow shop on his own. He picked up his own bottle. He talked to the homie at the desk, and he got the bottle, and he's trying to increase terps, and he wanted to beat me, because we'll run the same gear a lot of time. It just makes sense, it's cool to pick up the phone and be like, hey, you getting this or that, like I said earlier. But anyways, back to the question. That's kind of how it is growing with my brother, and how it's been fun, but we still have that brother, banter.
Brotherly, the competition. It's a little competition. It is what it is, and he probably just wanted to see if he could get better buzz than you.
Real talk, yeah.
So one thing that I was thinking about is, like, when we start this grow. Sorry, I was sending that to everybody.
Yeah, you're good.
Um, uh, when we do this first grow and we see that it works, that is what, like, gets the passion really grabbing a hold of you, because I know I did the same thing on my first 2 grows. Actually worked, and I was blown away. Well, because I had ones outside, but those didn't really work. But when I came inside and did it with the 10, I was blown away by my end result. And so it just caught me. It grabbed me, and I was like, okay, I'm a fucking grower now. Like, this is what I'm going to do because I can do it. For all the times, everybody made it sound like it was so hard, like it was so unattainable. Fucking, you could never get a good grow. And I was like, man, started doing YouTube and found out that all the information was out there. I was like, fuck that, I'm doing this.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that first grow, when it was successful, that's what grabbed me, dude. So I could see how it grabbed you guys too.
Yep.
So let's talk about the California sober, huh?
That's right.
So
Yeah.
this is one thing that I heard, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know there was a word of it, because that's what I'd been doing. I just stopped drinking, stopped doing drugs. I was in a coma. I don't know if you know, but I was in a coma for 3 weeks. I caught swine flu, almost fucking died. And I was a big drug addict. I was a meth head. I was an alcoholic. It was just bad. It was bad, bad, bad. And so once I got through that coma, I just came home and smoked weed. That was it. Just fucking weed, man. And it was the best thing that ever happened, because it got me off of the pills, because they gave me the fucking opiates to get over the pain, in my back. Because when I came out of the coma, for some reason, back pain is what I had. Just pain for fucking forever. I've always had pain since then. And they were prescribing me the pills, of course, like everybody, and the bud helped me get off that shit, man. And Jesus Lord, I'm so happy that happened, man.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I'm California sober too.
So yeah, I mean, this is kind of the position that I've wanted to be with whatever I have, right? Which is nothing. But you and I have a very similar story in that same respect, right? So I did the thing. I completely, did heroin back in the day. Went to rehab. 1.5 years I spent in a facility. This is, 15 years ago, right? I did it. I did the thing early, right? Kind of got it out of my system. fast forward to about 5 years ago, I started picking up the bottle. Same shit, right? I can't just have a beer, you know, or a shot. I'm taking the regulator off the top. I'm doing the whole, you know, whatever, right? So
Yeah. You
so
getting drunk to get drunk, right?
yeah, just, you know, and then, alcohol is so medicating where cannabis is so introspective, right? You have to be okay with yourself a lot of times when you get high. And I wasn't in that frame of mind where I could be okay looking inside, right? And being okay with yourself. Because when you're high, like you're in your brain, you know, like you got to be good with what's going on and what's around you and stuff. So anyways, back to the alcohol. Started drinking hard again. I got 2 kids. My youngest, we got pregnant, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
My wife helped me, you know, all kudos to her, Lord Jesus Christ, whoever's looking over me above, you know, has spared me anyways to come to this point of my life where like, yeah, I haven't had anything other than cannabis in 5 years. My kid's going to be fine. She has never seen me, you know, drunk or drink or anything like that. So for me, you know, and if anybody in here wants to talk or you got anything like that, like I would enjoy the shit out of it just because cannabis has helped me so much in my life, right? And it's helped me, you know, not use other substances. It's helped me really look inside of myself and be okay with myself. I really feel like growing, you know, for people, including myself, like you have something to take care of, right? And then you can define medicine as whatever. If it makes you feel good or you know, if my medicine is that I have to take care of something that's not myself and I'm getting outside of myself to take care of something that's not me and I'm not selfish because of that, I think it's all medicine in that, you know, like, you know, you can go into people who, you know, need it for different things. Like if it helps your quality of life, no matter what that is, I feel like that can be called medicine, you know, whatever you want to call it. So without getting on a soapbox, without doing the long version of the story, like I said, if anybody wants to holler at me, I will give you the long version, all the details.
Well, that's what we're here for. So you might as well just spit it out. I mean, like, you know, we're here to talk. So if you want to just let it be out, let it be known. One thing that I said that like, is alcohol is the gateway drug. Mm-hmm. To me, alcohol is the gateway drug because nobody has ever smoked a joint and said, hey, let's go do some fucking meth. Or hey, let's go do some coke or some shit. True. Nobody's ever fucking done that. It's never happened in the fucking history of cannabis, man. Nobody's ever done that. Maybe after drinking some beer and then taking a hit, yeah, you want to go do some dumb shit. Yep. But there's the underlying thing is that fucking alcohol, dude. That shit is one thing that I just feel. I people say that I project a lot, but I fucking hate it, dude. I hate it. I cannot stand it because it is one thing that is so socially accepted. And it has destroyed so many lives, and people have to sit there and just put up with it. You know, you have to, if you get you drunk, you do some dumb shit, you kick down a door or whatever, right? You have to apologize for that when you wake up in the fucking morning, you know, and then you have to go and fix that door and fix all these things. You don't have that with bud, man. The only thing that you're going to do, eat an edible and go to fucking bed. Maybe probably, you know, apologize to people because you slept. Yep. But that's it. You know, it's not nothing that crazy like that. That's why I hate fucking alcohol, dude. I think it's the worst.
Yeah. So I burned a lot of bridges and stuff too. And then like, you know, it's increased my relationship with my brother. I talk to him daily. I never talked to him daily. You know, my mom, the lemon orange is funny too. This whole conversation goes full circle and stuff. I show my mom my plants when she comes over and she liked that one. She's like, this one smells really good, Trevor. You know, like I really like this.
Does she smoke?
No, not at all. But she's
see if she could just appreciate the plant, right?
She appreciates the plant. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's more than growing, you know, stinky weed, right? Like I'm like, hey, orange, and she's smelling it, and my mom don't smoke, and she's like, oh yeah, I can smell that. You know, I can smell the oranges. You know, she's like, that's kind of nice. I kind of like that one. She's like, this is the, you know, it was just recent, but she's like, this one's not stinky. It doesn't smell like a skunk. You know, like so, you know, it's helped that relationship. You know. We went to Disneyland a couple months ago, and I'm like, hey, I'm talking to my wife, you know, and like, this is my wife, right? And I put her through some shit, right? And she's like, hey, did you bring the edibles? I was like, yeah, I got the edibles. So like, she's like, okay, I just feel like you should just have them just in case, you know, it gets, you know, too crowded or whatever. It's just
Yeah, too stressed out.
encouraging me to bring edibles to Disneyland. Like that shit doesn't happen with pills or whatever, right? Like it's this plant, man. And if you do it right and if you use it the way it's intended, I feel like I think there's not a lot of negative consequences. You know, there
I don't
really
think it is.
I,
There was somebody on here who said that they were a coward. I don't want prayers, bro. You better man than me. I am a coward. No, you're not. You ain't no coward if you're
yeah,
still
no, yeah,
drinking alcohol, right? It's just that fucking alcohol just has a hold of you, man.
yep,
Once you get over that hump, you will never look back again. If you really don't want to drink, if you're really sick of all the shit that comes with drinking, do something to get over that hump. As soon as you get over that hump, dog, you will be good, bro. I'm telling you, man. Don't ever call yourself a coward because you're not a coward. You're just, I don't want to say sick, but it's you're just not in the right state of mind, right? Oh, nicotine. Oh, okay. Well, nicotine too. Shit, nicotine will get a hold of you, man. That shit kills you. And nicotine is the only thing that we smoke that we don't get nothing out of, you
yeah,
know?
true.
Except for like the first hit, right? You get that one little fucking that little high. Um, but
But
yeah.
yeah, just
Anyways,
like anything, with the substances I've been able to, not do anymore. It's always, for me, it was always I needed to be 1,000% ready. My mom couldn't get me sober. My wife couldn't get me sober. My
yes,
kid couldn't get me sober. The only one who could do it was me, and it was me. I had to decide. And when you're not ready, because I played that game 100 times, and I'm like, you know, and I knew I was going to relapse. I knew I was going to crack another bottle, right? I totally knew. I was just lying to myself because you're caught up in that stuff. But once you finally fucking decide, hey, man, let's give it a go. Like I guarantee you, it changes. Everything changes, man. It gets easier.
yeah.
It really does, man. Like
And it's kind of crazy. I think it's crazy how we drink alcohol to make it easier,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And we think that we're actually helping. And I like the old Jackie Chan movie where it was the Drunken Master, where they were saying that a boat can float in water, but it can also sink in it too. And I'm like, oh, that's a good one
That is
because like alcohol could help. It could help a little bit, just a little bit, but it is a very slippery slope, man. It will. Next thing you know, you're in the trenches and shit like that.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that's fucking crazy, man. Does your brother drink?
He does still, and most of my family
Okay.
they still do too. Um, it's really, since it's been a while now, I really don't have any urges. I keep a couple NA beers in the fridge. I like to run and stuff, and there's nothing like cracking something like that. When you do like a good workout, or whatever you're gonna do that's physical. But
Yeah.
it's the only time I'm really like I reach for something like that. There's this really cool company called Athletic Brewing Company, and I used to love me an IPA, right? And they have an IPA that it tastes fantastic, and I like it. And it's been a while for me. And I'm not saying I've arrived or anything. I have to every day decide that I'm not going to drink alcohol. But for what it is, I enjoy that. But yeah, my parents
Yeah.
still we went bowling. I took my kid bowling this afternoon. They both had a cocktail, and it's all good.
Yeah, and some people just don't have it, or they know how to take it. What's the word? Drink responsibility.
Yeah, and I'm
Responsibly.
not responsible.
Yeah. And that's one thing I was not good at is being fucking responsible. So, but some people can, and some people can do it, and they can just have a few drinks, and they can cut it off, and they don't get too drunk, and they go about their life, and they just have a good time. And those people I really admire. I really do. I admire them because I wish I could be like that.
For
I
sure.
wish that I could be able to drink in one drink, and have an NA. I can't even have an NA because I don't trust myself, you know. And so I just would rather stay away from it. But there's some people that I'm just like, man, I wish I could fucking be like you guys, man. Actually, I was just thinking about that a couple of days ago. I was like, fuck, I wish I could have a drink. But then I was like, ooh, that's that fucking alcoholic talking.
Yep.
Because if I fucked up and did drink, oh, it would just be a spiral. And so I was like, no, fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about the normalization. What is the normalization of weed? What does that look like to you? Because And my question, this is one of my questions I usually ask everybody at the end of the show, but we'll just go jump into it right now.
Sure.
And like, what do you think is the future of the cannabis company? You know, what does it look like to you to where the legalization, to where we can keep it like alcohol? That's where I want it to be. Well, kind of like alcohol.
Yeah, so I think two-part answer on that one, right? Where do I see the cannabis industry and what does normalization look to me? And I'll start with the latter, right? Normalization. For me, as I've described how it's helped me so much in my life, like it's for me, it's I want it to be as normal as possible. My mom comes over, I show her what I got going in the garden. My dad's an electrician. I'm like, hey, can I run power here? I'm thinking about running some ducting out the garage this way, So obviously he knows, right? I have two
Yeah.
kids that are both under 10. They are in the garden with me. They help water. I don't hide anything. For me, that's kind of what I want the normalization to be, right? Where it's like, it's this plant, I just choose to grow it inside, and I just want it to be normal, all
Yeah.
the way around. The growing it, the cultivating, the consuming it. And honestly, let me take the consuming back, right? I really try to, I'm not, in front of my kids hitting the bong or whatever too, but like, I use cannabis during the day and I go in the garage and I do
Yeah.
my thing. But anyways, what I'm trying to hit on is just the normalization of it. This is what daddy does. He's in there growing his thing. He's out in the backyard finishing off his joint from earlier in the morning, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's really where I'm trying to come from. Like, and for me, like in this space, right? Like I don't try to be, I mean, I try to be the best grower I can be, but I know I'm not. Like I'm pretty average. Pretty good at growing 7 or 8 out of 10 weed. Like I've never done a 9 or a 10. That's for damn sure. I'm striving for that. 9 or 10
What do
weed.
you
But
mean? What do you mean 9, 10 weed?
like out of 10, like if you were gonna do like the Olympics and like you're gonna get
Oh, oh,
judged,
oh.
right? Like
Like, yeah, yeah. 10
I
out
can
of
grow.
10, like the most
Yeah, I
perfect.
ain't going
Okay.
no 10 out of 10 shit.
Okay.
7 or 8. Like that. So that's
So that's good with you. You're like, shit, hey, it's fucking, hey, I'll take it, right?
that's not what I'm about, right? That's not the
Okay.
core of Peachill, right? It's more of the normalization, the let's do this together, let's have fun. It's just fucking weed, like
Yeah.
you can go in so many directions. So, anyways, that's kind of what my core is as far as like the normalization. Where I see weed in 10 years from now, I think you said it. If it could be regulated similar to alcohol, I think that would be the next step in normalization, right? Because kids see their parents, go to the bar and they're doing their thing. Like, well, why not? Why can't we do
Go to
something
the dispensary, right? And the
similar?
dispensary be a spot like that. Well, yeah, on top of it, because like the bars, I don't know. I got a thing with bars because my mom was always in bars and shit when I was growing up. So I was like, I'm bars. Um, but it could be the same thing like a smoke lounge. I'm sorry, like smoke lounges would be nice. Definitely, like I made a post earlier about how nobody comes around and asks how many grams of alcohol you have in your fucking in your refrigerator or whatever. I want it to be like that to where we can have as much blood as we want, but just don't abuse it because some people will take advantage of shit and just start fucking up the game, and we don't want that. I don't even know where I was going with that. Sorry. Sorry.
I think it's like what we touched upon earlier, right? Like I think it would be where I want to see it is like just giving people the option, right? Because right now
Yeah.
you have the option of picking up a 30 rack at Vaughn's. You got the option of buying a whatever as big as and strong as you
Half
want.
gallon of
Like,
fucking vodka.
yeah,
Yeah.
you could buy Everclear down the street if you wanted to, and just yeah. Anyways, I got some stories, but I'll leave those ones alone with Everclear. But just giving people the option, I think, right? Like I think they do that or they go down those roads because they're available to them, right? And if they had the option of having cannabis and not going down that rabbit hole, and like you said, like what does Cat Williams say, right? Hungry, happy, sleepy. Those are the side effects of weed,
Happy
right?
sleepy, baby. That's it, man. You
Hungry,
think he's
happy,
dead? He
sleepy.
ain't dead.
He ain't dead. You're gonna wake up in 20 minutes and eat all your cereal on top of your
Eat
food.
all that cereal, man.
I
So with
love
the
that.
normalization, I was thinking with the normalization, this is what we're doing right now. As me and you were sitting here, and all the people that I have on this show, I am out to try to normalize this, okay, and make it to where we can talk about cannabis. We can sit here and we can have our kids come in and help us with the plants. It's not like we're giving them fucking weed. We're just having
Yeah.
them be around it to where they're not so, oh my God, you know, like my kids, they've been around weed their whole life. They don't like it. They don't like it. They don't want any of the fucking weed. One of my son, he just does not want it. My other one, she's having mental problems. So for her anxiety and stuff like that, I'll give her an edible every once in a while. But that's it. She's old enough to do it and all that. But like, I just think that this is what we're doing here is just normalizing it, and it starts with us, man. It
Yeah.
really does. It starts with us because we got to just keep this thing going to where down the road people are going to be looking at us like, damn, they were going live on Instagram talking about weed, you know. But this is how it starts, man. Us stopping the stigma, baby.
Yep.
That's what we got to do.
Yep.
Let's stop it. So I had a question here. You had mentioned the ultra marathon. What is
Yeah.
that?
So again, with the normalization, me being, odd, I'll leave it at that, right? So I started running in 2016, right? Same with the alcohol, a lot changed, not many years ago, but around that time when my second kid was gonna be born. I was also heavier, right? Because I was drinking my ass off, right? I'm about
Oh yeah.
30 pounds heavier. I was probably pushing like, over 200, and now I'm about 175. Anyways, so I started running, right? And my mother-in-law, I still have a hard time with those names. I've been married 10 years. And my mother-in-law, she runs half marathons and stuff, right? And I was like, I could do that. I could run a half marathon, right? So I started with a half marathon. The half marathon a year later became my first full marathon. And mind you, I'm smoking weed the whole
So
time.
how long is a full marathon?
A
How
full
far of running
marathon's
is it?
26.2 miles. A half
God
marathon,
dang.
13.1 miles. So I
And an
started that.
ultra?
So an ultra is, I'll backdoor you a little bit, right? So I started
Yeah.
the marathon, right? Did the marathon, thought that was cool. Obviously I told you I have an addictive personality, right? So I'm like, what else is out there, right? So the next distance is a 50K, right? 5 more miles. 32 miles is 50K. So I signed up for my first 50K. This typically on trails and stuff. They don't really do road 50Ks. Did a 50K. A couple years later, did my first 50 miler. After the 50 miler, you see where I'm going, they have this distance called the 100K. 100K, 100 kilometers. That's 62 miles. So that's the
Damn.
so that's the farthest I've ever gone on my feet. Mind you, I smoke weed every day. It doesn't affect my lungs. Uh, I actually ran with a coach for a couple years, and
Congratulations to you, sir.
he
Damn.
was into
Fucking
cannabis
hey.
too. I'll consume cannabis, on those longer efforts. I'm not trying to take a bunch of ibuprofen and shit. I'd rather,
So
get,
you'll take an edible and then just run?
yeah.
Fucking hey. That's
so
sick, brother.
so yeah, so
Fuck,
I
I've been starting to run on the treadmill and I
hell
can
yeah.
run like I'm pretty fat. I was bigger. I was 400 pounds when I was drinking because I drink that much. So
Yeah.
like, I got the addictive personality also. So I swelled up. I got really fucking big. And once I started getting low, stopped drinking, all the weight started going, and I started running. And I just ran 2 miles a couple
Hell yeah.
fucking months ago. And Jesus, dude, I was like, yo, these motherfuckers are crazy. But
It's fun. It really is. It's just getting outside of yourself. Get outside your comfort zone and just
it's
peek
definitely
out.
a thinking time, right? It's time to think and go over everything that you got time to sit there and think, bro. And I like that, just zoning out and running. That shit feels fun. I
Yeah,
really admire it.
and a lot of times now my wife laughs at me because I'm weird, right? Because this is I'll listen to weed cultivating podcasts on big long runs. I'll listen 2, 3, like this one, Dude's Grow Show, Growcast, some more that they do deep dives and stuff. And it's all me and my headphones, and I'm outside, and I got no kids, and I got no wife, and I'm just out there doing my thing, and it's fun to just, you know, I love podcasts, you know, and if I
Yeah, shit.
get,
I just got on the podcast fucking trip too, man.
yeah,
Those things are pretty cool because you could just put it on and do something else.
mm-hmm.
And we're such a ADD, culture now to where we have to have something else going on in the background, dude.
Yep,
Got to.
yep.
And what did you say you were listening to?
I like Growcast, dudes Grow Show, which is
Dude's
they've been
Growth.
around for a while.
Have I been? I think I've been listening to that. I think. I don't know. I
It's
got to go through my.
Scotty Real. Scotty Real is one of the dudes, and the dude's his real name is Brett. Then they have a producer. Right now it's Grambo. Used to be this other guy. That was anyways. But yeah, they're solid. You can tell there's a lot of production. They really, you know, they're doing the damn thing. You know, cameras and the audio sounds awesome.
They're really caring about it and they're putting their energy
They're
behind it.
you know, pros, breeders that you've heard around, not instant breeders. You know, we're talking, you know, real dogs, real websites and shit. You know, like
Well,
but
going down that topic, have you bred? Do you breed at all?
no, I don't. I don't. I don't.
No bread? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about it?
If I did, I would probably. So I've thought about this obviously, and like I have this keeper cut of this lemon orange that I really like. We've already talked about it, and it would be.
Yeah.
And I got a mom of it. But if I ever wanted to let that mom go and I wanted to seed it, then I would do that just to keep that one. And if I was gonna add anything to it, I would add a little gas to it because I feel like it's pretty fruity.
Okay.
So I may one
If
day.
you ever wanted to go down that route, one thing that Defiant Seed actually showed me, or taught, he told me, he was like, dude, just take one clone and flower out that clone. And then, put a little bit of pollen on that clone. Boom, there you go. You'll get enough seeds that you need to, like, keep it going. And then do a good real breed thing around there.
Yeah. Or just experiment in the outdoor season where, you know, maybe I'd get some, you know, get some females going, you know, inside, throw them outside, you know, maybe get some pollen. I got some friends in the area that do this kind of stuff, and I can just go buy some pollen and just, you know, let them go outside and then, you know, really.
You just buy pollen?
Yeah, I mean, you can get pollen. If anyone's got a male and they want to scoop it up and put it in a vial for you, yeah.
Yeah, I need to find some people around here that got some fucking males, man, because I need some pollen so I can practice, or I got to grow out a male and then keep it isolated and then, harvest the pollen and all that shit. But I've been looking for somebody who just had some that I could just take. That'd be way easier.
You put a feeler out there on your story instead of looking for some pollen, you know, I'm sure you'd get some people that would want to hook you up because then you're running their gear and that's cool, right? Like, you know,
yeah,
it's more community, right? Where it's like you're hitting your keeper with Homeboy's mail, you know, I'm hitting my shit with Homeboy's mail, you know, and it's not this, you know, we're not chucking, right? It's still kind of contained. So
yeah, and it's still like what you're trying to go for, right? That's actually pretty smart, brother. I'm gonna have to do that. Shit, thanks for that idea.
That's what I've been thinking. And it's free, and if you fuck up and whatever, it's outside, you know, and you're gonna start shit inside anyways, you know. Like I see your gear, you know, you roll similar to me with, you know, 2 4x4 spaces, right? So it's like, you know, sometimes stuff gets too big and it's not the right time, and then it's like, throw it outside and see if you can do a seed run with it, you know.
Yeah, you got a lot better conditions over there in California for outside, huh?
Yeah.
Like I'm over here on the east side of Washington, so I'm not where it's all wet, but it's real dry and desert like over here. So I got a couple months of pure just sun, just beating down on the plant, and I did an outdoor grow, and it came out fucking nice, brother.
Oh, did
but
you?
It's just not the quality that I want. You know, I feel the inside quality is just better. And so that's what I've been sticking with. And on top of it, like, it stunk up the whole fucking neighborhood. Like, holy shit. Like, I was like, oh, I don't know. I better cut this shit down because it is stanking up the hood, man. And I got like at least 2 pounds off that shit. It was amazing. Just beautiful. Jesus.
Well, I know you like
vegetables
too, so maybe you're just going for that, you know, to
yeah, you know what? You're right. That's what you should do. Either just process it, make some dabs, edibles, all that shit. I wish that I was more secluded though, because around me, I got kids walking around and shit like that. And
Same.
it's just not to the point yet. I don't feel it's to the point to where we could be going outside like that yet. I don't know. I don't know if you do. Hopefully you are where you're at that it's normal, but around here, people still trip out about that. They'd rather have it inside to
Yeah.
where they don't have to look at it or smell it, and they don't care about that. But if it's outside and they gotta fucking smell it all the time, I
Yeah.
don't think they like that very much. My neighbor, I don't think she liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a looky loo too. And last time I went outside a couple years ago, I it was they started going over my fence, right? And I'm in California, right? And it can't be visible from the street, right? You got to stay under your plant count. It can't be visible from the street. And I feel like if you're gonna go outside, you should probably adhere to that plant count. I feel like if you're inside, then do you, right? But like I was outside in my plant count, and they start creeping over the fence, and I had to get an umbrella and like try to block it, from my fence to like put the umbrella right there, and then so it was yeah.
Everybody's like, "What's that umbrella up
Yeah,
there
all
for?"
of a sudden, yeah, all of a sudden, and it's not even like where someone would sit in the sun, right? Like it's like over my fucking trash cans and like in the corner,
Yeah.
like all.
They're like, "We know what this guy's fucking doing."
Exactly. Yeah, it's so obvious, like so. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing with mine too is I got a big open spot where they can see it from the street, and so you could see it. It's in my middle of fucking. I put it right in the middle of my yard. It's just not a good thing. I did not think it out right. I didn't know that it was going to get that big either. Do
Yeah.
your plants get that big over there?
It
Like a
was early
pound?
on, like not like again, not like I know what I'm doing now, but this was a couple years ago, and I had no fucking idea what I was doing, and like, I started really early. I started like on 420 because I got all excited, right? And then normally in here, Choptober or I crop, October. So I vegged those plants for like 3 months. So like by the time they flipped naturally, they were in the ground for like a good 3 months, and they were in raised beds, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, that's one thing that you aren't ready for. Like I feel like anybody who's trying it, you better be ready to grow some big fucking plants, dude. 'Cause this shit is gonna get huge. And the way that they grow outside, like naturally with the sun, man, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. This shit, like, it's a different game.
Yeah, yeah,
One thing I noticed though is you didn't need to feed as much. Well, yeah, I did actually because it got really big. So,
yeah.
um, so I saw on there that you had a shout out from High again, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I did.
And the late night crew, man, shit. The basement grows and all them, right?
Yeah, that was cool.
That was super sick, brother. I gotta congratulate you on that one.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like shit, cause I haven't got a shout out yet, but I'm working at it.
Yeah, I don't know how it went, and yeah. I'm just in there trying to. Let's keep it real, right? I'm just in there trying to win shit, right? And I got no idea that, and I'm still in
That
there
they're
trying
gonna
to
throw.
win shit, right? Yeah, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was just sitting around, and then yeah, that happened, and that was like, I don't know, not the kick in the pants I needed, but like it was like okay, like I was still pretty new, and it was kind of like this is cool, this isn't like,
Yeah.
and Instagram's different from the the YouTube community, right? Where like Instagram is really inviting, and you can do
Yeah.
different things, and you can
Yeah. YouTube is not cannabis friendly, man. It is not cannabis friendly, and they are trying to keep us down on there. I have a YouTube channel too, but I'm not on there all the time because it's always age restricting, always doing some bullshit when fucking you could show some crazy ass shit on there other than cannabis, man. That's why I'm like, oh wow. But yeah, Instagram is where to be because most people are here and it's opening, like you said.
yeah.
The community's more willing to shout out the lower people to get
That's
I don't
well
want to say
said.
lower people.
Yeah, that the higher ups, right? Your staples, right? Your people. Let's
Yeah.
say it what it is. Like people that are doing this, making a living out of it. They realize that it makes sense to shout out, partner, whatever word, adjective that you want to use there. But they know that by bringing someone's lower along or whatever, that's good for everybody, right? So it's like
Elevating everybody. Yeah, yeah. Because they elevate everybody, it brings everybody up. And it's fucking beautiful because like Peachill 420, Mr. Grow It, I've talked to all these guys and I'm like, why would they even spend any time with me? But like, man, it's fucking nice the way that they do that. I'm sorry to cut you off. What were you saying,
No,
man?
no. Oh no, no. You're just summarizing what I said, and I think you nailed it. And it's it's fun. Like even you, like when I see you pop into stuff, like you were in the Canada, the home grow
Oh,
TV,
home grow the community.
home grow the community. You're in there, and I'm just like I'm talking my boy up, right? I'm like, yeah, Sly AK's the man, and then, like so it's fun to like you got your own your crew with you or whatever, and then
Yeah, yeah.
you're a good person like you are or whatever. Like I had nothing in there, just Sly's the man. I want to hear a party horn, and you were like, bah, 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 But it's all it's all fun.
Yeah, I like to think of it as collaborating. I want to collaborate with everybody, and so like I'm fucking there just being me, bringing the energy that I bring into it, and that's why I want to bring everybody else with me too. Because if they're doing it for me, I want to do it for everybody too. And that's why most of the people that I've been following on here for a long time, I'm like, okay, now I got a show. I'm sending messages out to everybody. Everybody, if I seen you out there, you're doing your thing, I'm sending messages. And nowadays, I'll like, even if I just look over your page real quick, I'm like, all right, yep, that's somebody I want to interview. Boom.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's fucking cool, man. It's so cool how the bigger ups like bring us little people with them, or trying at least.
Yeah. I think respect earns respect, right? So if you give it, you're gonna get it back. Bottom line. And anyways.
Yeah, the energy that you put out is the energy you're gonna get back, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that. I'm a big believer on that.
Yep.
So you're using Gaia Green's nutrients? That's what I saw last in there, huh?
Yeah. So I could. Yeah. So I've been in soil, been organic my entire go at this growing thing, and I
So you
really
haven't tried any synthetic nutrients like the general hydroponics or something like that?
so this next run. So right now I've completely I had some thrips in my veg tent, and I was fighting them for a few months, and I wasn't making a lot of progress with them. Rotating multiple sprays, Zymes, Organoshield, Crop Defender. I
Did you
was
try the Damascus shit, the Damascus Earth or whatever the fuck that shit that I'm using?
no, I did not
You got
know. I was
okay.
more spraying because they were everywhere, right? The DE for short, Damascus Earth or whatever, is more.
Yeah, there you go.
People will put it on soil or the stems, and when they start to infiltrate the plant, then that stuff goes in there. They breathe, through their necks or whatever, so that
Yeah,
stuff
yeah, the
sucks them
compression.
all up, and then they die and stuff.
Yeah,
I
it
had no
dries them
idea.
out.
Yeah. But I was rotating a bunch of sprays. Long story short, I was sick of fighting them. I wasn't winning. I threw the whole tent out. I had some decent cuts in there. I gave some stuff I took some cuts, brought them to my brother. Anyway, so I blew the whole tent up. All that to say, in that space right now, I'm completely seed start. Two different. I'm gonna go with another greenhouse that does the lemon orange, but it's called King's Juice. And I'm gonna run a local guy down here. If you ever heard of Masonic Seed Company, I'm gonna do Banana Man by him. He lives in the area. But
Okay.
anyways, all for that to say is that I'm gonna do a complete Athena run. I reached out to Athena. They sent me the whole line, even their IPM stack. So it's a 2-part veg, 2-part bloom, and some added.
Yeah, the A and B, right?
Yeah, A and B. Yeah, grow A and B, bloom A and B. And then they have a cleanse, and then they have stack.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about Athena. I think that's going to be a good company with you guys. They, nowadays, there's so many
It's all the same.
nutrient companies. Yeah, and it's all the same shit, but there's different labels, and some people are trying to say, "Yo, don't use this one because this one's better." And I'm like, "Yo, man, all this feed is the same stuff. It comes from the same place. It's all mined the same way." If you look up, I posted earlier, a couple months ago, I posted Modern Marvels on where they get the fertilizer, the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and all the stuff that we get in our plants, dude. And that shit is incredible.
Yeah.
It's a fucking deposit. It's an old ancient marine deposit
Mm-hmm.
that they get the nitrogen from and shit. I was like, blown, bro. But
Yeah.
anyways, so I'm using Gaia Green right now, and I switched to them just a little while ago. But every once in a while, I'll still throw some synthetic nutrient in there if it's lacking, if the plant is lacking what it needs right away, like the nitrogen, you know.
Nitrogen is something that my plants start showing deficiencies around week 4 in flower.
Yeah.
And so ever since I've been throwing nitrogen in there, it's been catching that, keeping that shit under, in check. Uh, forgot where I was going with that again. Yeah, Guy Green's good.
Yeah, I guess
Like it.
organic versus synthetic. So like so I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a full synth run. I've never done synthetics. I've always done organics. I started outside. That's just kind of been my bread and butter. But I feel, to your point, later in flower, there's some things that get away from me. And now that I've kind of become a better grower and I'm seeing things, I want to be able to address them, like you said, immediately. So
Yeah.
I want to see if that's something that I will do good in, right? Because I do like the organics. I've had a lot of success. I really like Gaia Green. I could tell you about bat guanos and gypsum and all kinds of rock dust and
Fish shit.
all that shit, right? And it's all good. And again, kind of how we started the beginning of this conversation. Like, we can all be successful. We can all kill it. And I just want to try it. Like I said, I enjoy gardening, and
Yeah.
if it's fun, I might do it and keep rolling with it. I might hate it, and I might go back to soil and worm castings and the whole gam. And the funny thing is, I have a friend that I met through here, and he might still be in here. I'm just looking through. He's not, but his name's a corporate gardener, and he was killing synth, and we met
Okay.
about a year ago. He's killing synth. I'm doing my thing in organics. And then right now, me and him just went like this. So he's just poured 2 3x3 raised beds, and I'm going full Athena run next time. So, and he was running roots, and anyway, so we switched, right? So I think it's more to the point of like, just do whatever. You're not stuck. I'm not gonna label myself as a synth guy. Like, it's fun. It's gardening, and
Yeah.
So,
and the good thing is, it's your garden. You can do whatever you want, man. Nobody can tell you what to do. If you want to run a little synthetics, you go and run synthetics.
yeah.
And, some people swear by organics. But there are some things in organics that when problems arise, you can't go like quick.
Yeah.
You can make brews, and they say you can make a brew and that'll fix it and all that. But like sometimes it's a different game. It's a
And
different game when you
mine's
go to
been
synth.
phosphorus. Phosphorus
I'm
is
sorry?
one. Mine's been phosphorus that I feel like I haven't been able to address adequately in organics.
Yeah.
And when you get that, you mix your soil, you do your thing, and it's gonna crush, and then you've got that plant that's hogging magnesium or whatever it is, and then you can't address it. For me, like, I feel like I want to, like,
Yeah.
I want the tool to be able to do that,
Yeah.
And in organics, like, like, you got to be two weeks ahead of everything. Like, you if you're seeing something, you that was 2 weeks ago, big dog. Like, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
2 more weeks before you try to knock that out. And then, as you damage leaves and stuff, like, sometimes there's no coming back from that. And that's been my
Yeah,
problem.
the leaves don't fix when something happens, it happens.
Yeah.
We are at the 58-minute mark, so we only have 2 minutes left. Is there anything that you wanted to tell anybody out there? Any sponsors you wanted to plug? Anything like that?
Oh, I totally forgot about that. So I just started working with Gambit. Check them out. Gambit Grow, they're a newer company out of Canada. Really good dudes over there. They're just kind of getting started. They have their thing right now is they have 25 millimeter tent poles. The AC Infinity are 22 millimeter. These are 25, so they're just
Also, they're thicker.
they're
thicker
yeah,
plants.
thicker, around. So it's a
And where can they find that? Is that in your link in your bio
Yeah,
or?
it's linked in my bio. Thank you. My code is Peach10. You get yourself 10% off. They have some cool bags. They actually have a cool LST system. It's kind of the whole reason I wanted to kind of get in with them. They have like these cool grommets and ropes, and you'll see it on the website. If you're interested, check it out. Just started working with Gambit, and then and that's it really.
Okay, so just Gambit.
Yeah, just Gambit, just homies on the side.
And the growers, the breeders that you're growing.
Yeah. So right now I'm just seed starting and some stuff. I've worked with some just local people and stuff. But yeah. Yeah. So.
Nice. All right. Well, this is gonna wrap it up for this episode of CannaConvos. Everybody, make sure to go give Peachill a follow, man. Go show your brother some love over there, man. He's killing it in the game. And yeah, for my sponsors, don't forget to go check out High Photon Flux LED lights. They are in the link in my bio. You tap it in, put Sly AK Loco to get a promo code. I think it's about 16% off. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been on there. So, and Defiant Seed, make sure to go check out your bro, man. Defiant Seed, OG Spliverson, anybody who sends me seeds, you already know. Yeah. So it was a good show, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, I would love to hear like you getting interviewed in this time too, because like I'm kind of a late addition to what you've been doing, and I don't know the backstory and how or the what, and we're gonna get cut off. But I would love to see a reverse one of these. That would be dope too. So if you ever wanted to do that, I'd watch the shit out of that, big dog. So.
Hell yeah, brother. I was on Homegrown TV, and their YouTube has my episode on there, so you can go check that out if you want it. But yeah, everybody, we'll see you next week. Have a good day. Late.